everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jimmy, the Tennessee Prepper, and today I'm going to do a review on the new movie Civil War.
Hey, I'm here to tell you about Cherokee Graphics, where we bring your t-shirt dreams to life. With our original designs and custom options using heat transfer vinyl and screen printing, you can rock a one-of-a-kind look. Express yourself with style and quality that lasts. Cherokee Graphics, where your creativity meets our expertise. Check us out now. Use code PREPPER and receive a 10% discount on your order.
In case you haven't heard already, there's a new movie out at the theaters called Civil War. And it's a fictional movie that takes place in the future of America. And when I first heard about this, I was kind of skeptical. I figured it'd be the typical Hollywood politically correct, woke BS that they usually make. And I figured it would make the rebellion or the preppers or whoever, was fighting the government out to be a bunch of whack jobs. But actually, the movie has no political bent whatsoever. The way it is shot, you follow these four journalists as they're making their way from New York through Pennsylvania down to West Virginia and then back into Washington, D.C., where they hope to get to take a picture and interview with the President of the United States, who's not Biden, who's not Trump, who's not supposed to be anybody. He's just a white guy. And you don't really know what causes the Civil War. You don't know who the good guys are, who the bad guys are. And the director made it a point not to take sides. Basically, we're along for the ride with the journalists. We get to see what's going on. They don't make any decisions one way or the other. It's left up to the audience of who you think is in the wrong, who you think is in the right, etc. So from a movie fan point of view, I really liked it. I liked that approach. I liked the fact that they didn't say, these are the good guys, you need to root for them. These are the bad guys, you need to hate them. They basically just do what journalists are supposed to do. Show you what's happening, let you decide. The acting was really good. It stars Kirsten Dunst, who played Mary Jane in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. She plays the veteran photojournalist. She's been all over the world and covering wars and battle zones and stuff. So she's seen everything. Nothing really phases her. Her partner is a Hispanic guy who, for some strange reason, doesn't seem to have a problem finding joints and alcohol in a civil war. But he's along with her. There's an older black journalist. He played The Rock's father in the Walking Tall reboot. That's where I remember him from. And then a young girl that is hoping one day to be like Kirsten Dunst. She's just starting out. She looks like she's barely out of her teens, if even that old. So you get these four people. They're heading to D.C., into the thick of it, to try to get that perfect shot and to get a quote from the president. Now, as I said, we don't know what causes civil war. We don't know what brought this on. All we're told is 19 states have seceded from the Union. The Western Front, the WF as it's called, is it's an alliance between Texas and California. I know I don't really understand how you get those two together, but it's a movie. Florida has its own group. They mentioned the Portland Maoists, which let's face it, it's not too far off the mark. The president is said to be in his third term. We don't know if his third term is what caused the Civil War, or if he just kept his office because of the Civil War. That's never really told. From a prepper point of view, I found it interesting, some of the groups that they showed. You have the opportunists who, have supplies that they demand outrageous prices from the people that can afford it. It starts out. I'll try to keep the spoilers to a minimum, but it starts out. There's a big riot going on in New York at EPA water tanker truck. Preppers wouldn't have a problem with that because we have our own water supplies. We have water saved up. We have ways to filter it. We have ways of getting it, which is why we do that. One of the other groups shown is basically sociopaths, psychopaths. They're loving this because they get to kill people without any consequence. These guys show no emotion. They killed whites, blacks, Hispanics, Asians, men, women, children. They don't care. That's your friend? Bang, he's dead. Where are you from? China? Bang, you're dead. They didn't care. And I can guarantee you, if the S hits the F, those guys will be coming out. One thing that I think they kind of didn't get right is the infrastructure was still pretty much intact. Electricity was on everywhere that they went. Their cell service was not up, but the internet was kind of spotty at times. These reporters were not prepared at all. They're driving in this big freaking SUV that probably gets 15 miles a gallon, and they're traveling over 800 miles to DC. Didn't quite really make sense. It's not like they had a whole lot of equipment to carry. I mean, they had their 35 millimeter cameras. That's pretty much it. So yeah, you would think they would have gotten in like a little 4-door sedan that got like 30 miles a gallon or something, but that was a little strange. The interstates were pretty much jammed full of traffic, as you would expect. But the highways and the side roads were all pretty much open. Now, granted, they were about the only ones out there, but no bridges were down. You would think if you were trying to take down the government in DC, probably one of the things you would want to do is take out a couple of the electric substations and take down the electric grid on the entire East Coast. Electricity was still working. So yeah, there were some things that I don't think they really got right as far as the prepper aspect of it goes. I think overall they did a pretty good job of just showing the types of situations that would probably arise in a situation like that. Like I said, they didn't tell you who the good guys were or the bad guys were. Half the time, if they were with soldiers, you didn't know if they were from the American forces or if they were from the WF. the Western Front forces. There was one scene where you could tell it was civilians because they were just dressed in jeans and t-shirts. But yeah, I think a real civil war would be a whole lot more bloody than what this was portrayed as. I don't know if they sanitized it a little bit to keep the rating down. But I think it was a good movie. I think it did what the director wanted it to do, and that's start the conversation. A lot of people in the prepper movement think that there's a civil war coming. I myself used to think that, but after COVID, I think we're way too comfortable. I think too many people on both sides, the left and the right, are just too fat, dumb, and happy. You can't get them to go to a school board meeting or to a meeting of their mayor, board, and alderman. Voter turnout is what? 15% maybe if we're lucky. I always thought that if the government kept squashing our rights, that would push us to the point, but COVID definitely showed that wasn't the case. You had the government telling you, you're essential, you can go to work. No, sorry, you're going to stay home. Liquor stores, yeah, you can stay open, that's fine. Churches, no, we can't have you congregate. No, you have to stay home. Jab comes out, you either have to take it or you can't go to work. If you criticize it, have doubts, have questions, oh, well, we got to cancel you. So, yeah, our rights were being trampled on left and right from Trump to Biden, both sides. Everybody just went along with it for the most part. So, yeah, I think we're way far away from the Civil War happening. People are just too lazy. If they're not going to get off their butts and go vote, what makes you think they're going to get off the couch, grab a gun, and go fight their neighbors? I just don't think it's going to happen. Plus, we have a lot more steps that we could take before it gets that far. If more of us would actually get out and vote for people that actually represent what we believe and not these same millionaires that go up there and come back and retire. We all complain and gripe about the politicians and how crooked they are, but yet we keep electing the same ones year after year after year and wonder why nothing changes. We also have the option of a convention of states. That is about the only way we're going to get term limits on these people because they're never going to vote to weaken their own powers. So there's a lot more steps that we can take, a lot more things that we can do before it ever gets to that point. I believe that there's probably a greater chance of us being attacked from the outside. Somebody like China who sends, they just caught 50,000 Chinese nationals trying to cross the border. China depends on us for their food. They have more people than what their country's natural resources can support. So they get all of their food from us. They're not going to allow an EMP to take place. They don't want our grid going down. They want the grid. They want our resources. So I think it's more likely that the Chinese can either take down our grid or hack it, hold it for ransom. If that happens, then I think it's going to be more like The Walking Dead. You're going to have groups coalescing together, and then those groups are going to be fighting each other for what's left of the resources. Civil War, I think people are too apathetic. They don't care. As long as they watch their games on Sundays, As long as they turn the faucet on, water's running, power's on, they don't care. Anyway, just my opinion. I threw that in there for free. But I would suggest go watch this movie. If you're one of the ones that thinks that a civil war is coming, maybe you think it's a good thing, burn the whole system down. Go watch this. See, maybe it changes your mind. Maybe it just reinforces what you believe. Overall, well done movie. Like I said, not woke, no politics. Just basically tells the story of what could happen if we keep going down the road that we're on. So until next time, please like and subscribe. Help us grow the channel. I thank all of you for all of your support. We're growing. And until next time, Proverbs 28:19. Let's get started.